Have you ever noticed how one moment seamlessly blends into the next? Almost as if time itself were painted in endless strokes? Today we're exploring the word continuum, a term that at first glance might seem confined to textbooks and academic discussions. But it actually has a profound, almost poetic relevance to the way we experience life. At its core, continuum means a continuous whole, something without clear boundaries or breaks. Think about the way our lives flow. There isn't a sudden jump from childhood to adulthood, but rather a gentle, ongoing transition full of subtle changes. It's like watching a sunset where the colors shift gradually from bright oranges to deep purples, each hue merging into the next. That gradual, unbroken spectrum is the very definition of a continuum. When I reflect on the idea of a continuum, I'm reminded of how every emotion we feel isn't isolated. Joy bleeds into sorrow, hope into uncertainty, and every feeling has its place along an endless line. Consider a time when you experienced a moment of happiness that led to introspection about something deeper. That shift, though imperceptible at times, is a continuum of emotion, a reminder that our inner lives are always in motion, always evolving. We see the concept of a continuum in nature too. The changing seasons, for instance, are not abrupt. Winter melts into spring, spring into summer, and summer into autumn. There's beauty in that unbroken cycle, a pattern that, despite its repetition, never feels exactly the same twice. Every transition holds its own magic, a unique blend of old and new that encourages us to appreciate the subtle details in our daily lives. Even in the realms of science and mathematics, the idea of a continuum challenges us to think about how we measure and understand the world. It forces us to acknowledge that while we often compartmentalize our experiences, life is inherently interconnected. The continuum reminds us that nothing truly exists in isolation. Every moment, every choice, and every emotion flows into the next, forming an intricate tapestry that is both complex and beautiful. Now, let's take a more personal example. Have you ever noticed how a simple morning routine evolves over time? Perhaps you wake up with a rush of sleepiness, slowly transitioning into alertness as the aroma of coffee fills the room, and finally arriving at a state of readiness for the day ahead. That gradual shift is your personal continuum in motion, a microcosm of life's larger perpetual transitions. Recognizing these subtle changes can empower us to appreciate our own evolution, reminding us that growth is not a series of disconnected events, but a steady, flowing process. As we peel back the layers of continuum, we find that it's more than just a word. It's an invitation to view life as an interconnected sequence. Every laugh, tear, and whisper of hope is part of a continuous line that defines who we are and how we move forward. This realization can be both humbling and liberating. It teaches us that the boundaries we imagine between different phases of life are often illusions, and that every moment is linked to the next in a beautiful, ongoing journey. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. What if embracing the continuum of our experiences meant accepting change as not something to fear, but as a natural progression filled with opportunities for growth and transformation? I'd love to hear your thoughts on how recognizing life's continuity has changed your perspective. Now, share your experiences and reflections with me in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this relatively short episode of Word Power, you will love our longer episodes on English Plus Podcast, where we not only talk about words, but we talk about a lot of other topics in depth. So check out our website, EnglishPlusPodcast.com, for more. And that'll be all for today. Thank you very much for sticking around till the end. I will see you next time.